The Las Vegas Raiders are cooking up something special, and it all started at rookie minicamp. With OTAs just days away and mandatory minicamp on the horizon, the Silver and Black are starting to reveal the young talent that could shape their future. And trust me, some of these new faces are impossible to ignore. But before we dive into the latest on your Raiders, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss an update from Raider Nation. Alright, let's get into the action. Rookie minicamp gave us a first real glimpse into the future of the franchise. Among the fresh talent, one name stood out in a big way: Darien Porter. This guy is pure athleticism in motion, size, speed, fluid hips, and an insane catch radius. Raider coaches were clearly impressed, and it's no surprise. Some fans are already drawing comparisons to Richard Sherman, another wide receiver turned defensive back, but Porter's build gives him a different kind of edge. He's taller, more rangy, and could be a serious matchup nightmare in coverage. And he's not alone. The Raiders are quietly assembling a core of young talent that could surprise a lot of people this season. Let's talk more about Darien Porter, because this guy might be the steal of the draft. At 6'4", he glided across the field like a sprinter, and he was one of the fastest on the field. His 4.34-second 40-yard dash? Third fastest among all attendees. That's blazing speed for someone with his size and reach. While others showed flashes, Porter owned the zone coverage drills. Coaches couldn't stop watching him. His instincts, his ability to read the play, he was a magnet for attention. No wonder the Raiders were thrilled to grab him at 68th overall. And it's not just the physical gifts. Off the field, he's the kind of guy you want in your locker room. Humble, hard-working, and hungry to learn. Exactly the kind of culture the Raiders are trying to build. And Porter wasn't the only standout. Bech and Dante Thornton also made their presence felt. Big time. These two receivers bring very different skills, but both could be serious weapons in the Raiders system. Thornton is the deep threat, the guy you send flying down the field. In college, his route tree was limited, mostly go routes and skinny posts, but his raw speed stretches defenses thin. Then there's Bech, versatile, physical, and relentless. He does a bit of everything. He runs sharp routes, fights for extra yards, and, most importantly, is a grinder in the blocking game. And that's what makes this Raiders wide receiver group exciting. These aren't just flashy catch-and-run guys. They're physical. They're willing to block. Whether it's Bech, Thornton, or veterans like Jakobi Meyers, this offense is setting up to dominate on the ground, because now the entire receiving core is ready to block for the run game like it matters. And it does. Jakobi Meyers has already proven himself as one of the best run-blocking receivers in the league, and now the Raiders are adding more weapons with the same mindset. Trey Tucker may not be the most physical in the blocking game, but his speed makes him a deep ball threat that keeps safeties on their heels. That alone creates space for the run game to thrive. So, between Meyers, Bech, and Dante Thornton, Las Vegas has a mix of unselfish, tough, and fast receivers who are all ready to contribute, not just with the ball in their hands, but when it's time to clear lanes for others. And Bech? He might just be the most intriguing of the group. His footwork is elite. Watching him cut and explode out of breaks is something special. He's not just fast, he's sharp. Every move has a purpose, and defenders are struggling to keep up. Dante Thornton still has work to do on his route running, sure. In college, he mostly ran deep routes, skinny posts, go balls, but the potential is off the charts. If he can polish up his skills, he could be a deep threat in the mold of DK Metcalf. Big, explosive, and deadly downfield. That kind of weapon could make life a lot easier for whoever's throwing the ball in Vegas this season. Now, before we get into more names, there's one player who absolutely needs to be mentioned, Ashton Jeanty. And we'll get into him next, because what he's bringing to the Raiders' backfield, it's something that could shift the entire dynamic of this offense. The energy around the Raiders is starting to feel different, and it's not just talk. You can see it in how the players move, how the coaches interact, and how the entire team approaches practice. Pete Carroll might be new here, but his impact is immediate. The vibe is louder, more focused, and way more fun. Players are laughing, pushing each other, competing, but doing it with joy. And when football is fun, it becomes something more than just a job. It becomes a culture. Take Ashton Jeanty, for example. There's been a lot of hype around the rookie running back. But let's be honest, it's hard to truly evaluate a running back before real practices start. No pads, no contact, no full-speed reps. So, while Jeanty's name is worth watching, the real test begins once the team hits OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Still, the early signs are promising, not just with Jeanty, but with the whole roster. This rookie class isn't just talented. They love football, they love the grind, and, more importantly, they love doing it together. There's a chemistry forming in Las Vegas, something fresh, something rare, and if you can't see it just yet, you will very soon.